Hello, welcome to week 2 training video. Apologize again for the lateness of this. I had quite a busy week, but anyway, let's get started with a handful of plays here. Had quite a few of blindside blocks in week 2. Appears to be something that needs to be discussed, so we're going to go over a handful of plays with blindside blocks here. First off, I want to thank the teams and the owners and commissioner for their sportsmanship and massive improvement last week in the games. The officials appreciated it. I definitely noticed the difference as well. So thank you. Guys, keep it up. Keep playing. Coaches, keep coaching. And officials will do our best to get all the calls right that we can. And we'll keep working for you. So with that being said, let's get started. All right, on play 1, we've got a false start. We've got movement on both sides here. Up top, the receiver is going to go early. We also have the defensive end and tackle on the opposite side go in, and there is contact. However, there is a false start first. So in cases like this, the false start, because it is a dead ball foul, where offside is a live ball foul, the false start is going to trump the offside. Next play, as I had mentioned, is a blindside block here. And this is just very common. A lot of times, busted plays is where you see it. You see the quarterback scrambling, downfield player looking upfield or upstream, eyes his target. Again, for this block to be legal, hands would need to be open. The blocker needs to see that block coming. Otherwise, you could simply just screen receivers, blockers. You can just screen that guy. You don't actually have to hit him. You can cut him off, screen him. There's a number of ways. You're seeing it coached out of the game, but you don't have to light him up on the side here. So good call by deep official. Charles Flynn, good job. Next play is had this sent in by coach as a potential block in the back. And you see here, it's set up for what could be a block in the back. Looks like he's in chase mode. However, he does square up. And as you'll see, the block comes from the side. For it to be in the back, we really want it to be straight in the back. Doesn't necessarily have to be two hands in the back. You can have a hand on the side and a hand in the back. If he propels him forward and the main push is in the back, you can have a block in the back. But here it is clearly on the side. And he lands on his side as well. It's a good job by the deep officials here on a catch, no catch. Number of steps, ball comes out. Never really actually possesses it, as you'll see here in slow motion. He's kind of bobbling it, never possesses it. Anything that fast, very simple, just make it incomplete. You'll be supported 100% of the time. Okay, this next play is a DPI. It's going to be a tough call for the deep officials. The angle is not quite sure if they're able to see this or not. I know from a line of scrimmage position, we're looking from the backside, so it appears as if there may be a face guard, but we can't really see the contact. But we do have an underthrown pass, receivers in chase mode, and even though it's poorly thrown or underthrown, he does have contact before the ball arrives. And remember, for pass interference, we do have to have contact. So if there's no contact, face guarding is allowed. But in this case, the ball is not there yet, and he's actually up in him, preventing him from trying to make the catch. So that would be a DPI we'd want to get. Tough call. Very close. but DPI. Rule changed a couple years ago on down by contact to down by rule, just like NCAA. Here we have an example where ball is down, hits the ground, anything but the hand or the foot, right? He's got his elbow and his forearm hitting the ground, therefore he's down. Ball pops out. Good job by the line of scrimmage officials already coming in to signal down. All right, play 7 is another blindside block on a punt. You're going to see the same pattern on these blindside blocks. You're going to see a player swimming upstream or going opposite the grain. These are the ones that players, when they do this, you kind of jump out. You see he's going opposite what his team is going, opposite where the players are going. Not saying he's going to commit a foul, but these are the ones that should jump out at you. And the person never even sees the block coming. So this would be a blindside block. I know it kind of looks like maybe a block in the back, but we want to get blindside because that's a 15-yarder versus the 10-yarder for a block in the back. Okay, but look for the guy swimming upstream, going against the grain. You'll find it easier to catch these plays. And next play, we have another blindside block as well on a kickoff. And again, same type of thing. You're going to see a guy away from the play. He's not really going opposite the grain this time, but he's away from the play, and he's looking, he's spotting someone to possibly cheap shot. So he's scanning the field. He's looking for who's not paying attention or whose eyes are not on him, and that's where he's headed. Very tail end of it, the film cuts off. But you'll see unnecessary. We've got to get those, and I think we did. All right, this is a roughing the kicker call. Good job by Cecil. Just because it's a bad snap does not alleviate the rushing team or the defense from personal foul or from running into the kicker, roughing the kicker. In this case, they don't block it. They don't get a piece of it. And they do contact the punter. They actually hit him pretty hard. So we would want roughing, not running. And good call by Cecil. Next play, we have another blindside block. This is going to be on the receiver up at the top of the screen. So it's not your typical blindside block that you see, but again, it is from the side. The defender never sees it coming, and the hands are not open. These can lead to potential injuries, but also ill will and escalations to further issues later in the game. Looks like a good block. You hear all the time, that's a great block. This is football. In fact, I heard that in the game I worked last weekend. This is football. Those are great blocks. Well, the game has changed, gentlemen. And there's really no need for that block. Ball carrier is being tackled, middle of the field. Ball's loose. If he breaks free, is out in the open, then you can block the guy. You don't have to light him up from the side. Really, no reason for it. So this would be the deep official's key. And can't tell if we got it or not because the film cuts off. But again, blindside block. This one here is not intentional grounding, and good job by Cecil to rule him outside the pocket. On these line of scrimmage official, we do want to come in and give the referee the piece of the puzzle. We don't want to tell him if it's a foul or not. We just want to tell him if the ball reached the line of scrimmage or not. For intentional grounding, there's two two ways out. Number one, a receiver in the area. Anytime there's a receiver in the area, it trumps everything. Doesn't matter what the situation is, receiver anywhere close, give them the benefit of the doubt, no intentional grounding. However, if there's not a receiver in the area, quarterback can still legally ground the ball as long as, number one, he's outside the pocket. Number two, the ball gets to the line of scrimmage. So in this case, he does get outside the pocket, throws the ball, and it actually lands just beyond the line of scrimmage. There's a receiver, you could argue, coming up in the area as well. So for that sake, we could stretch it and say the receiver in the area, but it's an easy one here because the ball gets the line of scrimmage. So either way, it's not intentional grounding. And good job, Cecil. Again, line of scrimmage, huge help to come in and provide information to Cecil. And last play here is one more because we haven't had enough of them. Blindside block. Really need to try to get this out of the game, guys. It's a safety issue. We don't have to decleat guys. Luckily, this wasn't as bad as it looks like it could have been, but bottom line is the guy never sees this coming. You got a receiving team member going completely opposite everybody else on his team. So he's swimming upstream, usually a sign that he's primed to commit a foul. All right, so big focus this week for players and officials, blindside blocks. And that concludes week 2's training video. One thing I would add is we have not seen a lot of targeting. I actually haven't seen any on the videos. If there have been, none have been submitted, and they've been not caught on film. So I think the players are doing a good job of lowering their target area and staying away from the head, which is good. Now if we can just focus on some of the blindside blocks. Anyway, good luck everybody working this weekend. Good luck to the teams. And we'll catch you next week.